if you're finding yourself not feeling good, you are out of alignment. You are listening to Turn Your Soul On Radio. I am your host and visionary doctor, Dr. Brandy Victory, and my mission is to assist high-achieving women in closing the gap between feeling unfulfilled to living a life on fire. It is time, ladies, to champion our own lives and turn ourselves on. This is Living Victoriously, ladies. This is how you turn your soul on. Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. I just have to say, I have freaking awesome tribe, and thank you for being a part of it. I am just coming off our blood draw day and open house at the office, and it was just so much fun. We had a lot of people come in and get their blood drawn, get their micronutrients tested, get their cardiovascular system tested with this very innovative technology, which is just the highlight of my life right now. It's just been so awesome to be able to look more deeply at people's physiology and get them excited about being proactive with their health care. You know, one of the things that I has been on my mind is how reactive we are in our society. It's like we're brought up here to react to things that are happening rather than be proactive. In other words, to, my back hurts, I should go get it fixed, quote unquote, fixed. Or, I've got XYZ problem, whatever problem it is. And then we turn around and we're like, now I got to do something about it. You know, I had a guy come in to get a chiropractic care, and he came in with his wife. His wife was like, why don't you go with me? And he hasn't been in a while, but his wife gets regular care. And he gets on the table. He's like, sure, why not? You know, he gets on the table and he's gets adjusted, and he gets off the table and his face lights up and he looks at me. He's like, man, I usually don't come in unless I'm hurting. Wow, this is amazing. Like, he was so happy that he felt better, but never considered, because he doesn't necessarily have any conscious pain in his body, like, my big toe hurts, or, my elbow hurts, or, my back hurts. He never considered, maybe I should go in for some prevention. The thing is, 99.99999, you know what? Never mind. 100%. I'm going to go with that. 100% of the people who get on my table get off feeling better. 100%. And so, you know, it's fascinating because I do have a lot of people who come in for wellness care. They're just like, nothing's hurting. I'm just here to, for a tune-up, just, some wellness care. I'm like, okay, great. More preventative care. And so I do have a lot of people who do that. But there is way more people who wait till there's something wrong to do something about it. And it's kind of a sad situation, because in the beginning, you don't really know when something's wrong. Like, you don't know that you feel bad until someone points it out, or until something gets so bad that you can't help but pay attention to it. Like this guy, and 100% of the people who get on my table for wellness care who say, I don't feel bad, nothing's wrong, I just need a tune-up. 100% have bodies that are out of alignment. And when they get adjusted, not only do their bodies feel better, but their emotional state feels better. Their mental mindset feels better. And it's just cool, because here's what I know. When we are out of alignment on a physical level, then we're out of alignment on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Like, one thing is a reflection of all things. And we don't necessarily really realize when we're out of alignment, because we get layered on and layered on upon layer of of stress, and the stress is subtle, and we deal with it so well until we don't. And when we're in that place of just dealing with life, dealing with stress, we're getting further and further away from our truth, further and further away from being in full alignment with our greatness, our highest, God, source, energy, creation, whatever you want to call it. But we have the ability to align to that in any given moment. But if we're in a stressed out situation, yet we're not feeling bad in our body, we don't really realize we're out of alignment because it's a subconscious thing, then we go about our life as if nothing's really wrong, not thinking about the repercussions of not being proactive in our life. So I know when I manually adjust somebody, I adjust their spine and I adjust their shoulder or whatever, we get their physical body back into alignment. And when we get their physical body back into alignment, we're aligning all parts of them. They don't really know that necessarily unless you're one of my cream of the crop patients who we have this conversation. But I don't actually get to have this conversation with every single patient yet. But it's coming. It's coming. I'm so excited about that. It's my greatest purpose to help people align to their own greatness. And so even if I'm doing that kind of under the table and in a sly kind of way, that's okay with me, whatever it takes, right? Because I absolutely believe if every single person got adjusted every single week, then we would have a way different world that we lived in. And here's the really cool thing is whenever we adjust our mind, we can also adjust our own body. Our physical body, our physical experience changes when we change our mind. Our physical experience changes when we remove subconscious interference, remove the false belief systems, remove the patterns and the programs and the things we've brought in from our mothers and our grandmothers that may or may not be serving us anymore. Well, I would say the ones that aren't serving us anymore. When we remove that stuff, then our physical experience changes. And that's the true essence of my work. So when I work with people long distance and I do coaching and we do the non-forced chiropractic work, or we do energy work or shamanistic healing work, all of that is helping one align to their greatness on the deepest level possible. And when we get into alignment on that level, then our whole physical experience aligns to that. This is where the fun starts. I love this stuff. And really the essence of this whole conversation was just to kind of put it out on the table that to take a look at your life, take a look at how you care for yourself, take a look at how you care for your own body and your own well-being, and ask yourself, am I proactive with my health or am I reactive with my health? Because if you're proactive, yay for you. If you're reactive, you might want to consider making a change. You really might want to consider making a change, because I know each and every one of you who are listening to this right now have a great desire to be aligned and tuned in to your most highest, your greatness, your authenticity, your truth with a capital T. And if you're gonna do that, you have to take care of you. All right? So I have been, usually I like to have these conversations with you twice a week. And if you've noticed, I'm sure you have, I've been getting them out about once a week, maybe. It's been a lot. It's been a lot for me because me too, I'm having to really take a lot of self-care right now. I get what it's like to do the deep inner work. And in order for me to align to my greatness, I've been having to go inside and really be with myself and be with, okay, what choices am I going to make in my life right now so that I can align to my greatness, so that I can align to my deepest purpose, so that my life is amazing and what my offering is amazing, right? So that I can help the people I'm here to help in the biggest and most powerful way possible. I help people every day, all day. Like I have a full house of people that I'm helping all the time, as I am sure you do too. And I want this experience in my life to be the juiciest, most profound, most explosive, purposeful life that I can possibly live. And in order to do that, I have to be aligned within myself, right? Just like you have to be aligned within yourself. So how do we do that? How do we get aligned? So first thing, as we just spoke of, go ahead and take a look. And if you're noticing that you're more reactive with your healthcare than you are proactive, and now granted, we may be all doing some things like, well, I take supplements and I take a bath once a week. Those are great things to do, but question yourself, are the supplements I'm taking are the highest quality? Am I certain that the supplements I'm taking are working or appropriate for my body? Am I eating foods that are of the highest quality? Grass-fed, free-range beef and meat, wild-caught fish, preferably from the Atlantic, and organic fruits and vegetables? Or am I eating processed foods and eating some organic, but sliding on other things? Am I eating out a lot and getting a bunch of, inflammatory oils? I just had a lady go, oh man, my diet's really good. And then I found out that she's eating out almost every day during lunch. And the restaurants that she's going to, because this is most restaurants, okay? There's very few restaurants, unless you live in California or Boulder. There's very few restaurants that are using clean ingredients like avocado oil or coconut oil to cook in. They're all using vegetable oil, sunflower, canola, safflower, all these omega-6s that are inflammatory, and they don't make you feel good, all right? I just came back from California. Roger, my boyfriend, his daughter had a baby, and the baby's so cute. Oh my God, it's his first grandkid. So we went out to California to see the baby, and it was such a wonderful experience. And we ate out every single day, and that's okay, but I haven't really eaten out since January. So this is a new experience for me, and it actually took a toll on my body and my mind. More than anything, it took a toll on my mind, and that's where I felt it the most. I did like puff up a little bit and get puffy so I could feel inflammation in my body. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go on vacation again and ever eat out again. I'm certainly going to do that. I really enjoy those things. But, it's just interesting to see how things react in your body, especially when you haven't had those kinds of things in a long time. Another thing to do to help with your own well-being, that's just the easiest things that cost no money other than the food you're eating, is to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. So eating foods that are fresh, whole foods from the earth, as opposed to things from a package. Eating things that have fewer ingredients rather than a lot of ingredients. So I just bought some crackers for our open house today, and I found some crackers. I usually go for Mary's. Those are my favorite because they're the cleanest and they're organic. But I don't think many people like them, so I went for another one. I can't even remember the name of it now, but it had like 5 ingredients. So I was like, okay, 5 ingredients, we can do that, right? And so you got to kind of make those choices for yourself if you really want your own well-being to be top notch. And then there's things beyond that, like, are you getting massages, or are you getting maybe your nails done? Maybe that's your time, or getting a pedicure once a month, or getting a facial. I'm just now getting into facials, and I've always done my own facials, but I'm getting into having someone else do my facials with really high quality skincare products. So we're going to see how that all unrolls. But, it feels good, right? It just feels good to do these kinds of things for yourself. Are you buying yourself flowers? Are you baking yourself, really high quality things? Like, I like to make bars or cookies every once in a while and have them, but no processed sugar, completely gluten-free, using coconut sugar or maple syrup for a sweetener, 5 ingredients or less usually, and it feels good because I'm in there making my cookies and doing something that's I love, and it's serving me because I feel good eating those kinds of cookies or bars, right? And then I feel good serving them to my family. So, whatever it is that makes you feel really good, that is, in essence, taking care of your own well-being. If you're finding yourself not feeling good, you are out of alignment. And this may be on a physical level, but for sure, you're out of alignment on an emotional and likely in a spiritual level. If you don't feel good, you are out of alignment. And it is so, so, so vital. This is probably the biggest tip that I'm going to leave you with today. It is so, so vital that when you don't feel good, that you figure that shit out. You figure out why you don't feel good. So I had a little crying spell the other day, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with me. And my girlfriend was like, you don't know what's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, not really. I don't even know why I'm crying. Are you sure you don't know what's wrong with you? Well, it could be so many things. And then I start listing off all these things, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, really? Like, you of all people know how to get yourself out of this. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And she's like, what would Brandy do? And I'm like, okay, what am I going to, if I were going to coach myself through this, what would I say to myself, And so I just worked myself through that. But I had to take a look at what is it that was actually causing me to feel out of alignment, to feel bad, to have a crying fit for no reason, quote unquote, no reason, right? And it came right down to it. It's like, okay, I need to honor myself in a new way. So I'm making some new decisions. I'm reformulating how I'm showing up in the world as far as my work. I'm readjusting my schedule. I'm reconvening with my old coach so I can get some guidance from that direction. I am getting more self-care. I'm getting my eyelashes done on Saturday. This is like my favorite thing to do right now is get my eyelashes done. Yes, I get eyelash extensions, and I totally encourage you to do that too. It's been amazing. Nothing like waking up and feeling like you already look perfect and you don't need any makeup whatsoever. Not that you ever need makeup, but it feels good. Anyway, take a look at and just really check in and ask, am I being proactive or am I being reactive? I had this actually really sad kind of situation that happened, and my stepdad has, for the past several years, has had cardiovascular issues. He literally had a deep vein thrombosis. They had to take a vein out of his leg and move it. Not great. And he got through it, and that was awesome. But that was a few years ago, and he's been edging on the edge of diabetes. And every time his doctor's like, let's put you on insulin, he's like, no. Give me a few months. I'm going to eat right and I'm going to exercise, and let's just see if we can get it down that way. So, he goes in, 3 days or whatever and gets on the treadmill, and then before you know it, nothing. And he's just forgotten. And this has happened to me too. This is so easy. Like, I have totally been there over and over again, especially when I was in the throes of bipolar manic depression. I would just start something and then I would totally forget what I was doing and lose track. And it was so, so frustrating. So I totally get it. And this is just a really good window into how we may or may not want to show up in the world. Because here's what happened is, I guess last week or the week before last, I get a call from my mom. She's like, yeah, well, the doctor says that Jem's got some cardiovascular issues, and they don't really know what it is. And so they've got him on a really strict protocol, though, of eating certain foods and getting on the treadmill. And I was just like, wow. Like, to wait that long to do something about it because you think you might die is just not healthy. This is not a healthy way to be in the world. Like, you got to ask yourself, like, what is that about? Like, am I doing that? And I have to look at this for myself as well, because if it's in my face, I guarantee there's some part of my being that's reflecting that back to me so I can wake up to it. So I am asking these same questions to myself. Where is it that I'm dropping the ball? Where is it that I'm not paying attention? Where is it that I'm being reactive? Where is it that I'm not being proactive for my well-being? And, just keep asking yourself those questions. And if you keep asking yourself those questions, things will show up to point you in the right direction. It's probably already there. But maybe you have this all down and you are good to go, and you're doing all the self-care practices, and you're going to yoga, and you're doing your meditation, and you're doing your fitness, and you're taking walks and breathing and going in nature and getting sunshine every day, and you're not on the computer after 6 o'clock, and you get yourself out of EMFs every once in a while, and you take a break from technology, and you do all the things, and you know what? If you do, hats off to you. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. And for those of you who aren't, I'm right there with you. I'm working on this stuff too. Hats off to you too for trying. So we'll get there. We'll keep putting it out there. I've got a clean eating challenge I'm actually going to be starting here in probably the beginning of May. So I was thinking about doing like a 5-day clean eating challenge where whoever wants to join in, it'd be completely free. We'll just do this together and be in a Facebook group together where we're talking about our clean eating challenge and have some fun with that, just to kind of give you a leg up in the world to better improve your health and your well-being, and to help you know that you're supported in all of this, because you are. I'm here for you. We got our tribe here, and we're going to do all of this together. So thank you for being a part of my life. Have a beautiful day, and do whatever it takes to turn your soul on. Thank you for tuning in to another awesome episode of Turn Your Soul On Radio. If you're enjoying the show and it's making a difference in your life, I'd be super grateful if you'd head on over to iTunes and leave a heartfelt review, which tremendously helps the growth of the show. Feel free to leave any suggestions or questions in your review, or you can shoot us an email at admin@drbrandyvictory.com. I also would like to invite you to become a deeper part of the Turn Your Soul On Radio community, which you can do by joining our private Facebook group, Turn Your Soul On. I'll leave a link in the show notes for you. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll talk to you next time. Have a fantastic day.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.